The following story and photos are from GiantPandaKing's book, Gotham 1919 to 1939, by Russell S. Beatty, available from www.GiantPandaKing.com. Viewer discretion is advised. In the months leading up to the Shadow War, the war that would change Gotham forever, the Batman had acquired an extensive network of allies. There were many who debated whether his presence in Gotham had a positive impact, but there were others who believed in his crusade enough to join the fight. The Bat had not set out to gain a following, but in his quest to avenge his family, he had gained a new one he would have never expected. His alliance with the Gotham City Police was one aspect of this, but this was expanded upon by the others who donned masks. They sought justice in a city that gave so little back to its citizens. Bruce Wayne, the man behind the Bat, had been subject to the toll the years had taken on him. His mental and physical capacity had taken a hit. When he had started his crusade, he had no idea the impact he would have, nor the monsters he would seemingly inspire. Those first few years as a vigilante seemed like a distant memory, another time altogether. As the Shadow War loomed, Bruce was looking for a way out of his vigilante career. He sought someone to take up the mantle. This was due to his belief that Gotham needed the Batman, no matter who wore the mask. But he also knew that he had to see the coming conflict to its end. He knew that he would have the Bat Team at his back. Some of the more well-established members of the Bat Team could see Bruce starting to burn out. Dick Grayson, the first boy wonder, had taken up a new mantle as Nightwing. This new moniker was due to things Grayson had seen over the years. He was done pretending to be the colorful young sidekick to the Batman. He had earned his independence, and the color of his youthful days gave way to a darker, more mature persona. As Nightwing, he was the de facto second-in-command of the Bat Team. Barbara Gordon, now known as Oracle, was the other member of the team with seniority. Since her paralyzation at the hands of the Joker, she had taken to helping the team in other ways. Her investigative and logistical skills were invaluable to the Bat Team. She devised a switchboard system with the Batman that allowed the team to communicate across the city. She operated this from the Batcave. Her support towards them extended beyond that. She was a friend to them all. She was the glue that held them together. With the addition of Black Bat and Batwoman to the team, having Oracle there helped them to feel welcome on a team of mostly men. Black Bat and Batwoman were inseparable. They brought a combined combat prowess that was crucial to the Bat Team. Another invaluable member of the team was Tim Drake, the third person to take up the mantle of Robin. Tim's time as Robin had shown the entire Bat Team the value of observation, deduction, and forensic science. His addition to the team brought a fresh take to the way they operated. It would end up making a huge difference in the days to come. The most controversial member of the Bat Team was the Red Hood, Jason Todd. He was one of the most unstable members of the team, which made some of the Bat Team uneasy around him at first. Over the months, however, Jason changed for the better. Being around Nightwing, Oracle, and Alfred Pennyworth proved to be a good, even healing experience for him. Jason brought efficiency to the team, as well as a knowledge of the League of Assassins. This would prove extremely helpful. The societal impact that the Batman and the Bat-Team had on Gotham was very evident during this time. During the height of the Batman's career, the Gotham Gazette spent a good deal of time sensationalizing the vigilante, his allies, and his villains. This took many forms, and even became somewhat exploitative. In one of these instances, they created their own satirical parody version of the Bat, in order to sell papers. Sheldon Finger, a little person, was hired by the Gazette to don a costume they had made, and Sheldon became the Bat-Mite. This role brought some fame with it, as the sensationalism with the Bat reached an all-time high. Toys were made in Bat-Mite's likeness, and Sheldon got to appear in public events and newspapers every other week. Sheldon loved getting to live this role, even though it could be somewhat demeaning at times. Many made fun of his height and took the parody and satire too far. As the sensationalism died down, Sheldon soon found himself out of work. The Gazette had used his likeness to make a fortune, but Sheldon was left penniless. Sheldon wasn't as bothered by this as he was by the sudden lack of attention. He had enjoyed the fame of being Bat-Mite. He had no delusions about the fact that Bat-Mite had been created as a joke, but he had at least felt some semblance of respect when in costume. Sheldon felt discarded, depressed, and alone. All of that changed when an idea dawned on him. He could still be Bat-Mite, and he could become a true defender of Gotham, just like the Batman. Bat-Mite would embark on numerous attempts at doling out justice, but would usually get himself into trouble or cause it. Bat-Mite, while meaning well, became a great annoyance to the Batman. The Bat had to get Sheldon out of a lot of sticky situations. Bat-Mite, for better or for worse, became an honorary member of the Bat-Team. This was less an acceptance into the inner circle, and more a way to keep Sheldon from getting into more trouble. He was not privy to the secret identities of the other vigilantes on the team. Another well-beloved addition to the Bat-Team was Ace the Bat-Hound. It's commonly said that dogs are man's best friend. In this instance, Ace certainly was the Batman's. Ace was very well trained. The Batman had gotten him in order to have a guard dog for the Batcave. Ace was trained similarly to the dogs used by police in England and Belgium. This afforded the canine with ample defensive capabilities. Ace knew how to restrain and deter intruders quite effectively. On top of his training as a guard dog, Ace became a friendly presence to the allies of the Bat. Nightwing was known to sneak the dog a treat once in a while, and Ace was quite affectionate towards the others. Alfred and Ace had a special relationship as they were both in the Batcave the most. During Barbara Gordon's early days after being paralyzed, Ace was a constant emotional support to her. Ace was also the first to detect when Jason Todd was in distress due to his brain damage, and would rush to comfort him. Whenever the Batman was present in the Batcave, Ace would not leave his side. Ace was as caring as canines could come, and would serve the Bat-Team loyally for years. Not every new ally to the Bat-Team so easily gained their trust at first. When a vigilante who identified himself as Azrael first appeared in Gotham, the Bat-Team was extremely wary of him. His grim appearance was, quite literally, much like that of a knight. He wielded twin blades and wore metallic armor that shielded him from gunfire and physical attacks. On top of this, it was very clear that Azrael had extensive combat training. Azrael's methods, while brutal, were effective and non-lethal. The Bat-Team was not able to learn much about Azrael other than what he had revealed to them. He claimed to be a champion of the Noble Order of Saint Dumas, and that he sought to fight for truth and justice. He sought to make Gotham a better place. The Batman connected with Azrael on these ideals, and even worked with Azrael on a couple of occasions to gauge the knight's prowess. Gradually, the rest of the Bat-Team began to trust the new vigilante. The only one who remained wary of Azrael was Jason Todd, the Red Hood. Jason had been subjected to service in a secret organization, and the Order of Saint Dumas sounded too similar to him. In spite of this, Azrael remained an ally to the Bat-Team, and would fight alongside them in the Shadow War. As the coming war with the League of Assassins inched closer and closer, the Bat Team would do their best to prepare. The warning signs had been cited: David Kane and Lady Shiva's involvement with the battle for Chinatown, Onyx's incursion into Gotham, Jason Todd's torture and brainwashing at their hands, and the Batman's own experience training with them. All these signs pointed to the League eventually making a move on Gotham. In spite of their preparation, neither the Bat Team, GCPD, or citizens of Gotham could truly prepare for the horrors that would ensue. The Shadow War of Gotham City would spark a flame that had the potential to either begin effective change or burn the city to the ground. Many lives would be lost, and all of them would haunt the Batman in the years to come. His desire to leave crime fighting behind would be at the forefront of his mind. In spite of this, Bruce knew that he had the support of his adoptive family and friends. All of these allies, old and new alike, would prove indispensable in the coming conflict, and the Batman was grateful to have them. The Batman had become more than a person, more than a singular crusade. The symbol of the Bat had become a beacon for these people, those who thought this crime-fighting crusade to be the hand of true justice. Whether or not this was actually the case, Gotham would need the Bat Team if it was to survive the war on the horizon.